Hey book friends. So I don't know about you, but I personally love seasonal TBRs. I love them because I just find myself in the mood to read different genres during different times of the year. For instance, like spring, summer, I tend to gravitate towards like fast thrillers and romance books. And fall and winter, I feel like I'm more drawn to fantasy or historical fiction, like the depth of the story, like snuggle up on a couch sort of stories. Now, obviously this is not a hard and fast rule for me or anything like that, but it does make it so that I want to put together seasonal TBRs. I want to have this pile of possibilities of books that just feel seasonal. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back, all the things. And so this is by no means a recommendations video for winter books, because I do have a few of those, maybe 1, 2 videos on this channel. I will go look for those and then link them above for you if you want an idea of some wintry type reads. But I cannot resist giving you a few of my favorites. For instance, I love Spinning Silver, The Bear and the Nightingale, and my new favorite, Frozen River. And then there's a lot of different kind of like snowed in type thriller books like No Exit, Rock, Paper, Scissors, One by One by Ruth Ware. And so I would recommend all of these books if you are in the mood for a wintry type book. But let's look at my stack here. As to the books I am putting on my TBR for this upcoming winter season. So the first book I want to talk about is this one. It's a very obvious choice. Now this is actually my only Christmas romance book because I don't tend to read too many of them around this time of year. But this one's on my shelves and it's just perfect. It's Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. Never read anything by this author. I've heard really good things. I've also heard it's a bit spicy, so I am tentatively walking in because, as I've said on this channel, I like romance, just not a ton of spice in my romance. So we'll see. That's what I'm saying. We'll see. And this is about a girl, I think, who has a Christmas tree farm and she's trying to save it from financial troubles, and she's entered like some sort of giveaway from an Instagram influencer. I think the catch is she lied about the fact that it's like a romantic destination and she has a boyfriend, but she has no boyfriend, so you can see where that's going. I think it sounds really cute. So that is the first one on my winter TBR. Another one I've been really curious about and I feel like I really want to read in December is The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Jonason. Now this was a book of the month copy, I think last year. Yes, 2023. And it sounded really interesting. It's like a Nutcracker retelling, but I think it's kind of dark. It says this glorious transportative reimagining of the Nutcracker tells a tale of twin sisters divided by envy and magic and set against each other one faithful Christmas Eve. I think it sounds really fun and it's very holiday, very winter. Glad it's on my list. I'm glad I saw that it was on my shelves. Another one that I really want to get to, I feel like I talked about this, maybe my end of 2024 book video, but that's Warm Hands of Ghosts by Katherine Arden. Now I love the Bear and the Nightingale series, as I've already mentioned in this video. This one though, this sounds like right up my alley because I do love historical most of the time. And now you add in a little bit of like fantastical elements and I think I'm gonna really be there for it because it's about a sister and brother during World War I, and she is like a combat nurse and she comes back injured and her brother doesn't come back and she has to go back to Europe. Like I think she's from Canada or something. She has to go back to Europe to find him. He's gone missing, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Has to do with ghosts in some way. I've just heard really good things about the writing and I already know I love Katherine Arden's writing. And so I'm really excited to get to this book. A book that probably has no winter vibe, but it's January in the title. And so I want to read The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. And so now I loved Once and Future Witches, which made me want to go back into her backlist. And I found this one, and this book has always intrigued me because it sounds so fun. It has to do with this like crazy mansion full of artifacts that are like, it says like carefully maintained, but our main character finds a strange book and so she wants to escape her story and she does that through going through all these different doors. And so I'm not sure if this book is kind of like through these doors are a different version of your life or through these doors are like a completely different adventure. Here's new adventures through each door. I don't know. I don't know what it's about, but I feel like based on how I feel about her writing, I think I'm gonna really like this book. So this one I want to read for sure. Okay, we're pulling at random here. I have this book. Short of it just being white on the cover, I have no idea if it's wintry in nature. It's just part of that book club run by Becca and the Books. and they're starting the John Gwynne series. There's 2 series that they're starting. The first one is Malice, and that's the first book in The Faithful and the Fallen. I believe it's Norris inspired, but I'm honestly not sure. It has to do with like men and giants and a violent past. I feel like I've read that a number of times and I still don't know quite what this is about, but it's on my shelves and I want to give it a shot because I'm surprised by how many people like this book. People I don't expect to like this book. And so I'm like, oh, what am I missing? So I want to give it a go. And I think it's a perfect time now when she's starting this read along, and it could kind of inspire me to pick up the whole series if I like it. But I need to give this a try. So that's definitely part of my pile. Another one is this one. So this is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is the second book in the Divine Rivals series. I really enjoyed Divine Rivals when I read it. I think I read it early this year, and I'm really surprised I didn't just pick up the sequel right away. Now this is a fantastical, historical type book. And so this has to do with war correspondence, but this world is World War I-esque. It's not really though, because it's a war of the gods. It's just during that kind of time frame when journalists had typewriters and things like that. So it really feels like almost like London and early 1900s, but yet the war is a war of the gods, and our main character, her brother went off to fight in the war and she was left behind, and in order to make money for her and her mom, she goes to work as a journalist, but she has this like rival at the paper, right? And they just butt heads, and then she is sent off kind of into the war. And things happen in that first book that are really interesting. And the first book ended on such a cliffhanger that I'm just not sure where it's going to go. And I have a feeling the second book is going to be more fantastical, because the first book I felt like was just really setting up the characters and the stakes of the world and how kind of serious it was, where we're talking war. But I think this might bring in more gods, maybe. I think that sounds really good. So this, I want to read this winter, and it definitely kind of looks like winter. I have 2 books I want to get from the library before I finish off this TBR. I have a couple more. I'm thinking of the Christina Lauren book, Anna Holidays, and I think I honestly put this on my winter TBR last year because it is kind of a holiday rom-com. It has to do with this girl who is coming back, I think, to visit her family for the holidays. I think she recently broke up with her boyfriend, something like that, but something happens that puts her in a bit of a time loop. And I'm not sure who the romantic interest will be. I have forgotten, but I do know I want to try Christina Lauren. I have not read any of her books, and I think this one would be really fun, and it's very holiday-esque. Then the other book, okay, I need more opinions on this. The other book I want to start is I was leaning towards starting Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but so many people say to start with Caraval. Other people say, oh, you don't have to. I don't know. I find the premise of Once Upon a Broken Heart a little bit more interesting than Caraval. That's the reason I am kind of going back and forth on this. But I also am a reader who really enjoys kind of the whole world and enjoys searching for Easter eggs and having like past characters come back. I really enjoy that in my reading. So I'm leaning towards Caraval. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that. That is definitely a series I want to start this winter. Okay, another book. Okay, you guys, I want to finish this series. We've been reading it this year in my reading challenge over on Discord. It's been really fun. We've read book 2 and 3 of the Thursday Murder Club. It's been a lot of fun. We're hoping to read this as a bit of an unofficial buddy read in December, and that is The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. Now, these books are just wonderful, cozy mysteries about these older individuals, like they're in their 70s. They live in a retirement village and they solve murders. Now, there's some unique characters in this core group of friends that make that premise work, and it is so delightful. Some of the banter and some of the conversations they have. I've heard this book is going to rip my heart out though, and I'm ready and I'm not ready. I just love these characters so much, and I'm not ready to be done, but I really want to know what happens. So this will be read. Another book I know I will read because it's part of a read along, but I'm so excited to get to it. I just got it in the mail. Just got it. It just recently got released, and that is Games Untold by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now, when this book was originally announced, I did not realize it's a number of short stories set in the whole inheritance games world. I'm not even sure if there's going to be a name for that, but I love that. I love that it's going to give us just a little bit more, because I have really enjoyed the whole series. I mean, the original 3 are still my favorite, but I just finished reading The Grandest Game and I really liked it. And so, yeah, like for here, it has this timeline of where these short stories fall in relation to the original stories. Oh, and there's artwork. Oh, how cool. I hadn't opened that up and seen it yet. Okay, I'm going to be reading this soon. Soon, as soon as I can. Okay, and then the last one, it looks like, that I was able to pull off my shelves, it has a very winter vibe, is this book. It's called The Witch and the Czar. This is by Alyssa Solikova Gilmore. It's a Goldsboro book. It's a very beautiful copy. I've heard mixed things about it, but I want to form my own opinion about this because this sounds like a book I would really like. And maybe this is where expectations were a little too high, but it feels a little Bear and the Nightingale adjacent. And so I loved that series. And so I don't want that to ruin this reading of this book, but I think it sounds really good. It has to do with historical Russia. It has to do with the Tsar. I think it's a Baba Yaga type book where the witch here is Baba Yaga and she gets drawn back into the royal family for some reason. I really don't know and I don't want to know it too much. I just want to read it. It's definitely been one that's been calling to me and I'm not sure it feels very wintry though, so it's getting put on my winter TBR. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for all of these books. I can't even tell you which one I'm most excited about. I have a very good mix of genres, so I feel like I will be able to pull from what I'm in the mood for. So yes, that's just really exciting to me. That is what I have for my winter TBR video. What are some of your favorite winter book recommendations? Like, what are books that just scream winter to you? Let me know down below. But yet, if you have nothing you want to say and want to let me know you were here, put a snowflake and maybe a book stack for winter TBR. So yes, that's all I have, you guys. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're enjoying kind of the end of 2024 here. I'm really excited. It's gonna be good. So I will see you guys in the next book video. All right, take care.